Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're going to take a little trip together, a virtual journey to a really special place on the coast of West Africa, Grand Bassa County in Liberia. Get ready because we're about to explore a region that's just brimming with deep-rooted traditions and this incredible spirit.
But first, I want to ask you something. Just think for a second. What does true hospitality actually look like? Seriously, let's forget about fancy hotels or five-star restaurants for a moment. What does it really mean to be welcomed? Just keep that question in the back of your mind as we go.
Okay, let's dive right in. The county is really known for three main things: its amazing sense of hospitality, its deep connection to the cassava plant, and, of course, the resilience of its coastal communities. This is going to be our roadmap for the next few minutes.
So our first stop, it takes us right to the heart of Bassa culture. We're about to witness one of the most powerful expressions of welcome you can possibly imagine.
So, picture this. We're in the town of Sinhan, and here a pretty simple ritual holds this immense cultural weight. This isn't just some formality, you know? It's a sacred tradition that says so much about respect and community.
Let's break this down. When a special guest arrives, they're presented with kola nuts on a pure white plate. Now, that white plate, it's absolutely crucial. It's a symbol of peace. This whole act is considered the highest form of greeting you can give. It's just a profound gesture of respect and welcome.
All right, so now that we've been welcomed in, it's time to taste the flavors that bring this whole community together. Let's move on and see how food is really at the center of every celebration here. So meet the star of the show, Dumboy. Now, if you're familiar with West African food, you might have heard of fufu. Well, Dumboy is a similar kind of dish, and it is absolutely beloved. It's made from pounded cassava, it's starchy, it's hearty. Really, it's the culinary soul of Grand Bassa.
And this is not just a meal. It's a huge reason to celebrate. Every single December in Adina City, they hold the annual Dumboy Festival. And if you ask the locals, they'll tell you it's nothing short of a cultural extravaganza. We're talking feasts on the beach, music, boat tours. It is a massive community-wide party. But, of course, the local diet is so much more than that. You'll find cassava leaf, which is this delicious dish of greens cooked with palm oil. You've got the West African classic, jollof rice, and, being right there on the Atlantic coast with major rivers, the diet is just packed with incredibly fresh seafood. Fish, crab, shrimp, you name it.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little bit. We've seen the culture, we've tasted the food. Now let's look at the bigger picture of life in Grand Bassa County, the people, how they live, and some of the challenges they're up against.
So if we look at the numbers, out of the county's nearly 290,000 people, a pretty big majority, we're talking 63%, live in rural and fishing communities. Only about 37% live in the main city, Buchanan. So that rural character, that's what really shapes daily life for most people.
Now here's something that might surprise you. Despite facing a lot of challenges, there's a real strength here. On Liberia's Human Development Index, which measures things like health, education, standard of living, Grand Bassa ranks an impressive third out of all 15 counties.
But, and this is a big but, here's where the picture gets way more complicated. That positive ranking exists right alongside some serious challenges, especially when it comes to education. The average adult over 20 has less than 4 years of school, and there's a pretty big gender gap too. For women, that number drops to just 2.4 years. This low literacy rate is a major hurdle and a real test of the community's day-to-day resilience. So how do we make sense of all this? You have a place with such a rich culture and this incredibly warm hospitality, but it's also facing these significant struggles. Let's try to weave these different threads together to get the full picture. This contrast, it really tells the story. On one side, you have this incredible spirit of community, the joy of the Dumboy Festival, the deep honor of the kola nut ceremony, and the rich livelihoods people get from the coast. But on the other side, you've got these harsh realities, the deep challenge of low literacy, the risks of poverty, and the constant ongoing work of rebuilding critical infrastructure.
And this is the most important part. The story of Grand Bassa isn't really about its struggles. It's about a community that is ultimately defined by its powerful, endearing spirit and its vibrant cultural heritage. That's its true strength.
And that brings us to our final thought here. When you look at a place like Grand Bassa, you just have to ask, in the face of some really tough, real-world challenges, how does a community's culture, its traditions, its food, its way of welcoming people, how does that become its most powerful tool for resilience? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining me.